What's going on? Welcome back to the Build Bodies podcast. I'm your host, Alan, and in today's episode, it's going to be a little bit different. And the main reason why I wanted to create an episode like this was to speak to you directly. Right now, the date's August 31st, and we have 123 days left until 2024. And I want to confront you. I want to ask you questions that are going to make you feel a little bit more uncomfortable. And there's no specific topic assigned with this episode, but if you stay to the end, I think that you're going to find it to be something that allows you to uncover why you've been putting some things off, why you haven't been putting yourself first, maybe confronting some excuses that are super uncomfortable and difficult to confront. But what if you no longer had belly fat? What if every time that you walked past the mirror, your eyes didn't go straight to your stomach or your lower back and you picked yourself apart? Think about your life right now. Think about your energy levels. Think about your daily habits, whether they're good or bad. What if you didn't struggle with those bad habits? What if you didn't have energy crashes during the day? What if you were able to see weekly results where you can see that belly fat slowly become flat or even reveal your abs? What if you knew what to eat, how much to eat? What if every time you left a restaurant, you didn't regret and feel super shitty about having no control and just totally letting go? And how does it feel like waking up every morning and knowing you don't have a plan that's moving you forward towards your goals? How does that feel for you? How does it feel not knowing where your body and health is headed? And what would your younger self say to you? Would your younger self be happy about where you're at? Would your younger self try and give you some advice to maybe go against some of the different bad habits that you have right now? How much time and energy could you give to your kids or your loved ones if you were in better shape? This is a huge one for people. I talk to men every single day. One of their biggest motivators for joining our program and just getting in shape in general is they want a future. They want a future with their kids. They want a future where they're not limited by their health. Another question that you could ask yourself is, how much better at your job would you be if you were sharp and in shape? There's no secret that in shape people think clearly, and that is just a byproduct of eating healthier, sleeping more, daily movement. All of these things help reduce stress and allow us to think clearly. How much easier would it be to dominate at life if every time you walked into a room, you felt super confident? Did you grow up confident? Did you grow up a little bit on the heavier side? Have you ever felt what it feels like to walk into a room and just feel amazing about yourself? You're not worried about how you look. You're not fixing your shirt. You're not rolling your shoulders forward to try and hide the man boobs. You're not fixing your pants. You're not trying to suck in. If you weren't wandering around the gym, not knowing what to do, like, where would you be? If you weren't waking up every day without a plan, where would you be? How would it feel to not fear, being put on medication when you're older? How would it feel to come off of those medications if you're taking them right now? How would it feel to never have to fill up those prescriptions ever again? This is another thing that I talk to a lot of clients about weekly. Some of our wins, I ask them, what's a non-scale victory? So we can celebrate that instead of just the scale weight coming down. And I've had many clients in the past say that they're now not taking any medication because of how good their health is right now. And obviously, you know, there's medications out there that you need to take, but the ones that you are taking because you're unhealthy, maybe you can look forward to not taking them in the future. How would it feel if you didn't have to pay for those things every month? What about at the end of every weekend? This is a big one. How would it feel to reach the end of your week and feel amazing about what you've accomplished? When was the last time that you felt that way? Have you ever felt that way? Is there a time that you can even remember where you got to the end of the weekend and you said, I did everything in my power this week to set myself up for success, and I feel very confident that I'm moving forward? Your life is no fucking joke. Your actions have consequences. And I know that this message might come across a little bit harsh, but I talk to men every single week who need these types of questions asked to them. Because as we get caught up in the everyday life, the everyday stress, we excel at our careers, our health usually gets put on the back burner. And sometimes we need a wake-up call in order to realize where we're at and what direction we want to move in. Let me ask you this, though. Would you be living your life right now if you had the body that you wanted and the health that you wanted? Would you take more vacations to the beach because you were in shape? Would you make an effort to go to pool parties? Would you make an effort to be more social because you like how you look? Would you make an effort to play with your kids more, maybe play in the pool or anything like that because you're now in shape? Would you take yourself shopping for all the form-fitting clothes that only the models are supposed to wear? Would you be less worried about another pandemic because you're in great shape and your health is phenomenal? You see, it's common to have no control over your health. It's common to slow down once we get to 30. It's common to let your busy life, make you fall off. It's common to be on medications. It's common to feel like you're lacking in some way. It's common to be depressed in this country. It's common to not feel confident. And my challenge to you is to be a weirdo, because mostly everyone has all these things checked off. And I challenge you to be weird, be an anomaly, be someone who is challenging the norm. Because ultimately, we know that what the masses are doing is not working for us. And despite all the sugar-free things we have now, despite all of the different, health changes that there have been in supermarkets over the years, our obesity problem is still rising. And a lot of it has to do with misinformation out there, not having accountability, and making sure that we find something that's sustainable for you. So be fucking weird. Try something that is not the norm. If people are trying 30-day quick fixes, you need to totally look the other fucking way. I choose to be weird every single day. When someone asks me, why don't you want dessert? Because it doesn't make me feel good. And I have the power to not move my hand across the table and grab some. Be weird, okay? When someone offers me a drink when I really don't want one, and I say no, and they proceed to give me a weird look, be fucking weird. When someone asks me to go out with their toxic friend group and I feel the need to say yes because I just don't want to miss out, be weird. Say no more often. It will make you so much happier. You see, weird people have plans to succeed with fat loss. Weird people have structure. They have discipline. Weird people have a workout program. Weird people follow a nutrition approach that works for them. Weird people get results. Is being weird bad? It's not. I promise you. On the other side of that weirdness is a life full of happiness and a shit ton of fulfillment. And why is it normalized that we go most of our adult life feeling like 50% of the person that we can be? Why is that normal? Like, because that's how people are operating. With less than 6 hours of sleep a night, no health routine in place, I promise you, if you just fix those two things, you will feel like fucking Superman. You will feel incredibly better. When you're controlled by your bad habits, how hard is it to be free and feel good? It's almost like you're chained to these bad habits that don't serve you. And when you have that hold over you, how are you going to feel for the rest of your life, knowing that that is what you're chained to? Your life starts to change the second that you take responsibility. It's your life. It's your fault. And starting today, I challenge you to take your fucking life back. Start simple. You don't need to do anything crazy. Move your body, get some sun, drink some water, do the essentials, eat food that makes you feel like $1,000,000 and not like dog shit, right? It's very simple when we break that down, but you need to remind yourself of this more often. There's no better feeling than breaking free from a weak-willed mind. So if you finish every single week asking yourself, I really wanted this, but I wasn't able to discipline myself accordingly to make that decision that I know was ultimately better for me, that's something that you should really pay attention to. Imagine being able to control your desires that aren't serving you. Some of you can't resist the snacks in the pantry, the pornography, the alcohol, the toxic people. You know these things don't serve you, but you can't stop doing them. And the time to put yourself is right now. Right now is the perfect time for you to put yourself first. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. I wanted to create this episode because it's near and dear to my heart. I'm saying the exact questions that I wish I would have asked myself sooner. And I ask these questions to a lot of my clients to help uncover why we're doing what we're doing, why we want to really change. And if you don't have anyone in your life keeping you accountable or asking you these hard questions, I hope this podcast served that purpose. Have a great rest of your day. And if you found this helpful, share it with a friend.